discipleship, it's more than just about going to church. I think it's about living in the presence of God.
Some of the challenges of being a disciple are peer pressure from friends who don't always believe the same things you do and follow what you do, and being able to commit to other things that they want you to commit to because you're doing something else that you know is important to you.
As a disciple and as a farmer, I see creation all the time. I see the maker of creation all around me and how everything is so fearfully and wonderfully made. And therefore also, when you look after your animals, you remember that you have been given the stewardship of them and you look after them to the best of your ability.
Christian discipleship for me is not just about what I've learned on Sunday, but also how I take that home with me, how I live that out through the rest of my week and the rest of my life.
Being a disciple of Jesus means to me being kind to others and treating them how I would like to be treated. It also means following his commandments and living my life as he would like me to live it.
To me, discipleship is really important, and I want to be able to share that with younger people. One way that I've been able to pass this on is being a young leader at a diocesan youth camp, and that's really important because I've been able to teach younger people to explore what it means to be a follower of Jesus.
Being a disciple means so much to me. Working in a church school means that children are always asking the big questions about Jesus and wanting to know how to challenge it in the correct way and how to further themselves in their own faith.
Living as a Christian disciple, it's important at school when I'm talking to my friends to put my point of view across as a Christian. And it's important that I have other friends who are Christians as well.
Since becoming a disciple of Jesus Christ, my life has been turned upside down. For example, I used to be terrified of public speaking, and now God called me to be a teacher and then a preacher. I used to be really anxious and had panic disorder. And then God called me to be a psychotherapist, and I now run a therapy centre.
For me, being a disciple of Jesus affects all the choices that I make, the big ones and the little ones as well. Things like what job should I do? How should I spend my money? Where should I live?
In college is probably where it makes the biggest difference for me. Being from a Christian household and having a lot of Christian friends in college is probably the only environment that I'm exposed to on a daily basis that is largely secular. So those interactions can often be quite challenging, a little scary sometimes, especially when I'm the minority.
Being a disciple has helped me reflect where I am on my Christian journey by getting more involved in lay ministry and joining the reader ministry and getting involved with preaching and teaching. That's involving the Youth Alpha course, leading that, and also getting involved with the new Sunday evening congregation that was set up for young people.
Another word of being a disciple is an apprentice, which is an interesting point to make. It allows you to understand that you're having to follow, you're wanting to learn, move yourself forward in your faith. It's not just staying at the steady point where you're comfortable as you are, you want to progress.
I am involved in my local church very much so. I felt called that I had to be the treasurer 9 years ago when the position came free. And I felt as a disciple it was right to follow that, to obey that calling and do what I was able to do for my local church.
One of the great things about living the Christian life is that it's never static or boring. Jesus invites us on a journey with him, a journey of formation as he prepares us for the life of heaven. And we call that journey discipleship. As we've just seen, the fruit of that discipleship can be plain to see as people seek to make a difference in their daily lives in the name of Christ, in service and in proclamation. Over the next few years, we're inviting the parishes of our diocese to have a real focus on growing disciples. As we do so, I'm sure that we'll see not just people bearing fruit for Christ, but knowing more and more the joy that comes from following and serving him.